The day of funeral events have begun in Uganda for Olympic marathon runner Rebecca Cheptegei, who was set ablaze by her former boyfriend and later died. Dixon Ndima attacked her with petrol just under a fortnight ago outside her home in neighbouring northwest Kenya, close to where she trained. The 33-year-old's killing and its brutal nature left her family distraught and shocked many others across the world. It underscored the high levels of violence against women in Kenya and the fact that several female athletes have been victims in recent years. Cheptegei is receiving full military honours at the ceremony in Uganda, having been a member of the armed forces there. With her coffin on display and draped in the Ugandan flag, Saturday's programme started with local leaders in Bukwo, Cheptegei's home district, holding a memorial service. They observed a moment of silence and gave a standing ovation as they paid their respects to the late athlete. Councillors said Cheptegei lived a simple and focused life and always offered guidance to her fellow athletes. She inspired many children in the area to join athletics, one said. They also proposed to name a road and a local sports venue in her honour. She is due to be buried later on Saturday at her father's homestead nearby. Cheptegei died in hospital 4 days after the attack. Doctors said she had suffered burns on more than 80% of her body, which led to multi-organ failure. Ndima, who was also burned after some of the fuel splashed on his own body, died on Monday. He attacked the mother of two after she returned from a service at a church, the God's Dwelling Ministry. The pastor there, Caroline Atieno, remembers a wonderful, God-fearing person. After hearing about what had happened, she managed to speak to Cheptegei on the phone while she was in hospital. The athlete first asked about her children, who were both fine, the pastor told the BBC. Then Cheptegei talked about her attacker. "You mean Dixon is not able to see all I have done for him? He could not remember even 1 or 2 things I have done for him and stopped setting me on fire. Why has he done this to me?" The funeral is being held in Bukwo, home to her family in Uganda and close to the Kenyan border. On Friday, family members, friends and activists against gender-based violence viewed her coffin at a funeral home in the Kenyan town of Eldoret before it was driven away. Her mother, Agnes Cheptegei, covering her face in anguish, was wearing a souvenir bag that the athlete received at the recent Paris Olympics, where she came 44th in the marathon. She was dressed in a T-shirt which had the slogan, "Being a woman should not be a death sentence," printed on it. The mother of two was the third female athlete to be killed in Kenya over the last 3 years. In each case, current or former romantic partners were named as the main suspects by police. In 2021, world record holder Agnes Tirop was stabbed to death, and 6 months later, Damaris Mutua was strangled. Attacks on women have become a major concern in Kenya. In 2022, at least 34% of women said they had experienced physical violence, according to a national survey. Some observers are saying that female athletes are becoming increasingly vulnerable. This is because they go against traditional gender norms where the woman is just in the kitchen and just cooking and taking care of kids. But now female athletes are becoming more independent, financially independent, said Joan Chelimo, who co-founded Tirop's Angels to help highlight the issue of violence against women. "We don't want this to happen to any other woman, whether an athlete or from the village or a young girl," Rachel Kamweru, a spokesperson of the government's Department for Gender and Affirmative Action, told the BBC. When Cheptegei first got into running, she joined the Uganda People's Defence Forces in 2008, which helped support her. Her last race was at the Paris Olympics. Although she came 44th people in her home area, still referred to her as champion. She won gold at the World Mountain and Trail Running Championships in Chiang Mai, Thailand in 2022. Subscribe to our channel for more updates.